Did you hear something at the back? Did something pop up? Well, let me just tell you what happened. There was that Spotify glitch. Why am I telling it to be a glitch? Because they all present with so many, uncountable advertisements. So I thought that it's better not to allow this Spotify thing to interfere, isn't it? Good idea from me. Okay, let's get back to our continuous tense. All right, so I have just cleared everything, and I remember that whatever I told by now, I hope that was very clear. Now let me tell you one thing where we do not use the continuous tense. Please listen to it very carefully. Okay, like verbs of sense and perception. For example, I hear the noise. Okay, if anybody says that, ma'am, I'm hearing the noise, so that is a big wrong. Okay, that is incorrect. Please do not get into the habit of saying that I'm hearing the noise. You can listen to the music. All right, you can listen to the sound emitted by something. Say if I ring the bell, so you can listen to the ringing of the bell. But so you see, you can always listen to the sound of a train. You can listen to the ringing of the bell when Meera Didi rings that bell, tung, tung, tung. So you can listen to that. But if you say that I was hearing the bell sound, that is totally incorrect. So please remember that whenever you are using verb of sense and perception, please avoid using continuous tense. Rather, I would say do not use continuous tense. Like, if I say that I see the school, I see the beautiful building of Sunbeam, it's so amazing, isn't it? So that is correct. But if I say that, oh mama, I'm seeing my school building, look at that, that is again a blunder mistake. So what did I do? I said a blunder mistake, so that is also again incorrect. A blunder is the superlative degree of a mistake, right? Okay, now the second thing, verbs expressing the state of mind or emotion, thereby also do not use any form of continuous tense. Like, I admire my children. That is very good, that is correct, 100% correct. But if I say that I'm admiring you, what is this? There is no sense if I say I'm admiring you. I can admire somebody's behavior, I can admire somebody's mannerisms, but it is totally again incorrect if I say I'm admiring you or I'm admiring her. Admiration is a feeling and emotion which will never need any continuous tense, right? So now next is, I'm sorry, verbs of thinking or other mental activity. Like, I think you are wrong. Okay, so you better check your solution. That is totally correct. But if I say, hey you, I'm thinking you are wrong, that is again a mistake. How can you keep on thinking that somebody is wrong? Okay, that thinking process is an ongoing process wherein the continuous tense is totally, what is that? Banned, shunned, don't use. If you use, you will get laddu, a big zero. Not only from my side, from everybody's sides. Okay, so the last but not least, remember verbs of possession. That means I own a beautiful red Activa 5G. So I own a car, I own a scooty, I own a lavish bungalow. That is correct. But if I say, hey bro, I'm owning an Audi, again that is super wrong. You will not keep on owning things. You own, that means it's already a possession. So what is the use of using that continuous tense? There is no use. So let's recapitulate. where you will not use a continuous tense. For this, I think I should write it. Let me rub. Okay. Words of sense and perception. I think I should rub this also. But I'm not feeling like rubbing this beautiful little cartoon. Oh, I need to go this side. This is the don'ts. Okay, children. Wherein you will not use the continuous tense. First, verbs of sense. First is the verb of sense and perception, where you will never use the present continuous tense. Second, verbs expressing the state of mind or emotion, that means your feelings. Then again we have verbs of thinking, or other mental activities. That means if you keep on thinking about something, or something is getting cooked up, so that is already there in continuity. So thereby you will not need to use any kind of continuous tense. Now the last, that is verb of possession. Alright, so this is super important. Please do not make any kind of mistakes. Okay, sense and perception, no continuous tense. Verbs that talk about the state of mind, the thinking process, no continuous tense. Then if I'm talking about possession, I own, this is mine. Okay, so when you're already owning, don't use any kind of present continuous tense. Alright, that was our present continuous tense. Now let's switch on to the past continuous tense. Okay, so we are through with the first type of progressive tense, that is the present continuous tense. And now let's move on to the next type of continuous tense, that is past continuous tense. Before that, if you were able to see these two books, they are very user friendly, right? Because this is a book, Oxford Current English Grammar by R.K. Sinha. This has got both Hindi and English explanation, right? And you have very easy examples, and it has got lots and lots of exercises. You have the solved examples also. So it's suggested that, you know, if you have Wren and Martin, very good. If you have the junior English Wren and Martin book, that is also very good. But I found these to be apt for children of say classes 7 and 8. You know why? Because it is explaining you in your own mother tongue, Hindi, And I know it's easy when you get to understand something in your own native language, right? So those who are interested in practicing a bit more besides your own cornerstone book, you may keep on practicing by using Wren and Martin. That is fantastic book. And at the same time, if you can get hold of this book, this is also very nice book, okay, by R.K. Sinha, and it is very user friendly, and this is also a very good book. This I would advise you to use when you are in class 8 and 9. This is very nice, very nice. It's very simple. The explanations are also in a very simplified form in both the books. So this is just the additional knowledge which I'm giving you. Knowledge as far as books are concerned, right? Okay, let's get back. So I was talking about past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is used to describe an action going on at a point of time over a period of time in the past, not in the present, right? When I was in that present progressive tense, it was at that moment, right? Because it was present time. Now when I'm talking about past continuous tense, I'm talking about something which was coming through and through and for over a time of period in the past. Like we were strolling all evening, or like we were playing throughout the whole day. Okay, I was sleeping. So here again, what will happen when I'm saying I was sleeping? So there is just a change of only and only one thing. Everything is the same thing as we discussed in the present progressive tense. In this, only one change is there, and that is about this verb, this auxiliary verb, this be form of the verb. Now this is the be form of the verb which we had used in the present. If I say that I am sleeping, so what will happen if I say I am sleeping? Although right now I am teaching, but for you it's just a simple example to make you understand. First example was I was sleeping. The second is I am sleeping. So now when I'm talking about the first example, it is in the past continuous tense, and the only change in these two sentences are with regard to the be form of the verb. Okay, so here I'm having was in the past continuous tense, and when I was talking about the present progressive tense, I was using am. Okay, so now what did I say? I was using am. So that means I'm using that past continuous tense. Okay, got it? It's very simple. Just concentrate and you'll get it. Okay, so in this past continuous tense, there is only one difference. The subject is the same, and here the verb and ing, that will also go according to the present continuous rule. This change will be there only in the be form of the verb. So that means be form of the verb will change and everything remains the same. Alright. Okay, now the second thing is to describe an action that was in progress when yet another action took place. Remember, one action was already in progress when the other one cropped in. Right. Now how? They were working in the laboratory when I arrived. When I met him, he was baking cakes. That means here there are two things going on. In the first example which I talked about right now, That is, they were working in the laboratory when I arrived. That means working in the laboratory was that continuous past tense which was going on, and what happened? I arrived. That means I interfered their working progress, right? Second example, when I met him, he was baking cakes. That means my brother was already baking cakes, all right? And then what happened? The second action was when I met him. That means when I met him, he was already into baking cakes. Now, in these two sentences, we see that the verbs in the past continuous tense are describing the action which was in, progress. It was longer action, all right. Whereas the verbs in the simple past are describing a very short, like I arrived. That is a very short action, isn't it? You are not doing anything. You just jumped into his room or the laboratory. And when I met him, so I went and I met him. So that is pretty shorter action, isn't it? Okay, so be very careful. All right, in past continuous tense, you may have two actions happening. One will have a shorter duration, the other one will have the longer duration. And the longer duration action will be of the past continuous tense verb. Okay, so that was about the past continuous tense. I think that is more than enough. Let's do the third type. That is, what is the third type? I will be teaching you the third type. So I used future continuous tense. What was that? Will be teaching. There is little bit of twist in this. Let me write future. You might be giggling. Why did I say future? It reminded me of logophilia session. Nature, future. So English is really very funny language. I won't say funny, but then quite interesting, you see. The pronunciation sorry, keeps on changing from place to place. Okay, so let's start with the future continuous tense. I'm using British English, Queen's language. Okay, the future continuous tense is used to describe an action that will be going on or continuing at some point of time in the future, right? For example, I can say my grandfather will be eating at that time. All right, so that time, I don't know which time, but then might be any time. So here the future continuous tense is will be eating. Now, interesting fact about here is that here the be form of the verb used is will. Okay, it can be shall also. So these are called modals. Okay, it can be shall, but again please remember that this shall be hardly used lately. It has become obsolete. So generally shall is used with I, but these days you will find that shall has been replaced by will. So it's perfectly fine. Shall and will both are okay, both are the modals, and both are used along with be. Now this can be like shall or will. The first thing that will have an addition of B. Second thing, now after this, the third addition will be your verb. And what is the fourth addition? The last addition, that is ing. So in this you have lots of additions. But that's it. That is how future continuous tense is like. Let's revise once again. Here we will be having shall or will. That will be accompanied by be. Then that will be accompanied by the verb, that is the action word. And lastly, it will have an addition to the verb with ing. For example, if I say that next week we will be visiting our friends staying in Nagaland. Okay, so thereby what am I saying? I'm describing an action that is fairly certain to happen in, say, in the coming future. Okay, although I have not specified the dates, but then it might happen given the opportunity to fly to Nagaland, and if things get normal, then I might go and see my friends staying in Nagaland, isn't it? So that is a little bit of certainty to happen in the near future. Now next week we are visiting our grandparents staying in Sri Lanka. Okay, so thereby what am I doing? I'm again finding a little bit of certainty that okay, fine, if it's not raining, I might go and see my grandparents who stay in Lanka, right? So these two things should be kept in your mind for future continuous tense, that it is used to describe an action that will be going on or continuing at some point of time in the near future, or when there is a fairly certainty to happen. There is some certainty that you might do that particular action in the near future. So thereby also you will use future continuous tense. Okay. Now, as I had told you that we can also say the same thing using present continuous tense. Remember, while dealing with present continuous tense, I told that this also applies in the future continuous tense. Yes, definitely. It is the same in future continuous tense also. Like when I say that next week we are visiting our grandparents staying in Lanka. So here also we are, if you just think very, if you are just listening to what I am saying right now very intently, I use the verb, the be verb as are. Okay, but I did not use this specific will or shall, isn't it? So now that be form of the verb are was used in which continuous tense? It was used in the present continuous tense. So that means you should be very careful when to use future continuous tense and when to use past and the present. All right. So thereby I think that is the end of the chapter, and let me see if I can give you some worksheets so that you can decipher the difference, right? I'll just share a few worksheets right now. Might be yeah, this can be done. This is very simple. The sentence is, I am watching TV. Now if I say that, convert this into future continuous tense, what will you do? Yes, you may say. It will be he will be watching TV. Very good. If I say I was watching TV, and you need to change it into future continuous tense, what will it be? I shall be watching TV, because it's better to use shall with I, but then you can always use will. But there is something like you have that that you can have tomato ketchup with cutlet, isn't it? You will never have jam or something which is sweet with a cutlet, isn't it? So same goes with this particular I and shall. Okay, I and shall go together. Okay, and they and will go together, isn't it? So that is why I used shall with I. Now if I say you are watching TV, now I want you all to change the sentence into past continuous. How will you do? Think. It's very simple. Bingo! You were watching TV. Very good. And if I need to change it into a future continuous tense, what will it be? Yes, it's correct. You will be watching TV. Alright. So it's, very simple. I would share this table so that things become more clear, more crystal clear. Like what I'll share is I'll give you a table in which you have everything in a very columned manner. First person, second person, third person, and then you'll be having the tenses. Okay, so it will look something like, I'll just share the table. I won't write everything, but it will look something like this. Here I will give the tenses 1, 2, 3, and here I will have first person, okay, here I will have second person, it seems I have to rub this cute little thing. Bye bye. Now here I will have third person. Okay. Somewhat like this. So I'll give you a table in which you will have all the a clear picture in which I'll be changing all the tenses. Okay, I'll share this. This is just a kind of a schematic diagram, a concept map. Okay, so this is the concept map which you should always keep somewhere stuck. I'll share everything. Okay, this is just the way how it will look, and I'll give you the tenses here. Like the first will be the present continuous, second will be past continuous, the third will be future continuous. Okay, and then I will have the example here. as in first person, here as in second person, and here as in third person. So don't worry, relax. I'll share everything in my PPT. Okay. So that was all about the continuous tenses, children. It's very simple, nothing to be so much worried about, and you all know that it was just a quick recapitulation of this continuous tense, and I believe that you have done all your homeworks. I believe that you have finished with everything which had been taught till now, and I also believe that you will continue doing this beautiful work which you have been doing till now. And yes, I must tell you, your projects, your holiday homeworks, it was it was a delight to see you all exploring so many types of ways of sharing images, creating the slides. It was a real joy. Keep doing that beautiful work. Okay, so keep doing that beautiful work. So what did I say? Which tense? Future continuous tense. Keep doing that beautiful work. That means I'm talking about the beautiful work which you can keep on doing. Okay, anyway, let's put a stop here. I'll share that schematic diagram. I will share the worksheets. Worksheets are to be done in your practice notebook. Don't do anything else unless you have been told. I will give you the exercises to be done in your grammar notebook, language notebook. Okay, so I think that's all for today. I'll see you again with the solutions of the exercises, and say might be few more exercises from elsewhere, so that I can also check your understanding. Okay, all right, that's all. Stay blessed. Those who have not done your holiday homeworks, it's high time. Please do buck up, pull your socks, explore creativity. Until then, stay safe. Thank you and Jai Hind.